And now let's hop right into some movie reviews. We'll start off with the Woman King. In the 1800s, a group of all-female warriors protects the African kingdom of Dahomey with skills and fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Faced with a new threat, Naniska trains the next generation of recruits to fight against a foreign enemy that's determined to destroy their way of life. It dropped this past Friday, directed by Gina Prince Bithwood, if I'm not mistaken, obviously starring Viola Davis. John Boyega's in it, Lashana Lynch, a lot of other names. But who wants to start? Who wants to give their thoughts on The Woman King? Anyone available? We'll start with Tyler. Sorry, Seth.
I'll take it because I figured George will want to be the one to hop on Pearl first. But
I'll get Pearl.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna send it to George.
Yeah, Woman King. I thought it was very good. I thought it felt overly long. I felt like it dragged a bit, and kind of we talked about this in our group chat, and I think Cam at least gave me a reaction on it. So Nawe's love interest in the movie, Malik, who's played by Jordan Bolger. I hadn't seen him in anything. He was by far the worst part of the movie because the movie was full of stellar acting performances. Viola Davis and Tuso Mbedo deserve best main actress roles for this film. I thought they were absolutely incredible. Even Lashana Lynch, best supporting actress, she could get a supporting. But so everyone was just so good. And then Jordan Bolger as that Malik who came with the slave traders, it just felt like a soap opera, and it bogged down the movie, it ruined the pacing. So that like dragged it down for me. And then I also found it was weird that the trailers all said that it was like supposed to be a gladiator. That's what this movie was supposed to. This generation's gladiators, I think what the trailer said before in theaters. And I didn't get that. I made a wild comparison on my letterbox that it almost felt like, way different genres, but almost felt like Kingsman, where you get a bunch of recruits and the whole movie is them getting narrowed down, weaned down in the pack all the way until you kind of get the final people who graduate. Went through that brutal final course where they went through those thorns that was hard to watch for me when that looked brutal. But overall, I very much enjoyed it. Great acting performances. Pacing I thought was not the best. Some of the fight choreography was a little over the top, but I think I'm a little sensitive to those things. Like if I see someone snap their arm in a fight, then I see them move that arm at all, it just kind of takes me a little out of the moment. But I'll stop my rant there. I thought it was overall very good. I gave it a 7.7 out of 10. Just could have been like 30 minutes shorter.
Yeah, you got it, George.
I just want to touch on. I echo everything. Obviously, you say, Tyler. I have it at 4 out of 5, around 80%. I think it is a good bit of filmmaking. I do agree with what you said. I just want to touch on. You guys know I'm a big technical aspects of a film kind of guy. I had the treat of watching this movie in the Dolby Theater, and it was an absolute spectacle. So I just want to mention that from a production standpoint, I think this movie really excelled from the production design to the costume design to the cinematography, even the score. It was brutal. It was fierce. It was intoxicating. I do think the movie has some screenplay issues. It ran probably a half hour longer, just like you said, Tyler, than it had to. I think we could have cut out the entire love story and just kept this dialed into a character study, because I know I'm not going to go into spoilers actually, but there was one specific storyline that I was genuinely intrigued by, and it got a significant emotion out of me. The two of you that have seen the movie probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that one storyline could have been the forefront of the emotional side of this movie. I think we could have cut out all of that romantic stuff with that one slave trader. I do think that brought down the film a little bit for me. But overall, it's in my top 20 of the year. I've seen, I think, like 70 new releases, so I do hold it pretty highly. I have it at 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I love technical films, and this was a fun watch.
I don't want to like harp too much on what you guys said, but I'll say I fucking love this movie. I think it was very, very good. I really did enjoy it. My only issue was the relationship subplot. And my issue with it is the fact that I'm not, what's her name? I'm so sorry. I forget.
Tuso Mbedo? Nawe?
Yeah. Nawe. Her relationship with him, I thought was weird in the sense that she looks like 14 and he looks like 28. That's what kind of threw me. I was like, this is disgusting. I hate this. Also, I don't it's going to be like the smallest spoiler. And here's one thing I'll say. Please let us know if you want spoilers or if you don't want spoilers. We didn't know before this episode. This is obviously our first review. We can split it into parts, whatever. I'm going to the smallest spoiler. I don't love that they gave him a redemptive arc. Kind of wish just kind of got fucking killed. If I'm being honest, I just kind of wish like one of the Viola Davis like snapped his neck or something. One thing I'll say about it is you kind of touched on like best actress. Lashana Lynch is so good in this movie. I absolutely loved her. That was like my biggest note is like she's stealing the show for me. Obviously, Viola Davis was incredible. This is like such a nitpick point. The movie opening monologue left the screen before she was done. I was like,
you. Oh
yeah,
my god!
I was so confused. I was like, I was trying to read and keep up.
I thought I was the only one that noticed that. I was looking
Dude,
around.
that
I
was
was
so weird to me. Maybe it wasn't a nitpicky thing, but I thought that was so odd.
I was trying to read as fast as possible.
Yeah, but I'm also listening. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys do this. I also I kind of struggle in movies. I watch everything with subtitles. I watch everything.
I've always everything.
Yeah, I watch everything with subtitles. So I kind of struggled like keeping up with this thing. And when she was reading it, I'm trying to read it with her, and then it's gone. I'm like, oh, okay, what happened here? Also, I can't read, so I'm just struggling in general. A couple things to mention, like, so I have this at an 89 out of 100. I gotta like mess with my yearly ratings. They're getting a little odd, so I'll probably move things up and down. We'll see where it falls, but for now, an 89 out of 100, a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I really did enjoy it. One thing to note, I don't think this was a new story from a very broad spectrum, right? Like they're training a bunch of people to fight in a war. It didn't feel like a very new story, but it was done so well. I really enjoyed it. And then to the fight choreography point, Tyler, there was one point where I believe it's Lashana Lynch's character, like someone swings a sword at her from the back, and like he's very close to her, but then like he kind of like just barely cuts her. And I was like a little taken out by that. I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, because then she obviously just turns around and beats the shit out of him. But I was like, it was just a very small cut, and he was like a foot and a half away from her. She was turned around, just kill her. But yeah, that's just. Other than that, I thought the fight choreography was insane. I really enjoyed it.
The fight choreography was great, but I hate myself for being nitpicky about it. Like, I wish I could just watch it and be like, this is so cool, epic. Give me unrealistic things. Do anything you want because it's so fun to watch. Like when they're twirling and doing all that crazy stuff. But like, again, this isn't a spoiler. When like a bullet shot at you and you just block it out of the way with a sword. For me, I wish I could just be like, that was so badass and cool. Really? But I can't. Like, for me, it just takes me out of it. I know it's a musket and it's slow, but still, like, come on.
You watch a certain amount of films and you kind of build up this criticisms that just come out without even wanting it to.
Right.
Because you've watched so many action, choreographed things. When small things happen like that, I'm the same. I'll pick it out, and it's kind of annoying because you don't really want to, but then you've got it in the back of your head that it's there. I think it's just something that comes with watching a lot of films over time. I think most people do it now. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something that I'm kind of opposite. I watch and I'm like, that's fucking sick.
I wish I could. I wish. Yeah.
And this is a conversation George and I had like very small after he saw it. I can't stress enough how quickly I'd fold in any sort of sword fight or fight in general. Like if I get like smacked in the face, I'm throwing my sword down and pledging allegiance to whoever did that. Like I would fold so damn quickly. I'd be on my knees for Viola Davis. Like if she like walked up to me, be like, you're right. That's my bad. Like, yeah, but that's beside the point. Any other points from the Woman King? This is kind of a quick review. Maybe if we did like a spoiler-free and spoiler section, we could go into it a little bit more in depth. I had one other. Oh yeah,
you go for it. I had one. Okay, well, this is just kind of a broader conversation about Woman King in general. We don't have to go too down the rabbit hole, but I haven't dove into this very deeply. But I heard from quite a few reviews and people that it's based on real life story, but wildly different than what actually happens. I'm just wondering if you guys care when a movie's based on real life and it doesn't follow what actually happens. Does that bother you or no? Because for me personally, make me a good movie. If you're fluffing some stuff or revisionist history, I'm fine with it. Just give me like a good movie. I don't care too much when it strays from real life, but I wonder what you guys think.
Not usually, but it did in Hacksaw Ridge. That's the only thing that I can think of where it actually bothered me. But usually, no. If it's a good film and I enjoy it, then I'm not really that bothered. That's it.
Yeah, I'm exactly what you both did. Give me a good film and I'm set. The thing is, I don't think any movie ever that has been based on a true story has been 100% accurate. You can nitpick
You
little
have
things.
to. You have to bring.
You
things
have
up.
to embellish it in order to make
Make
it
it
fit
interesting.
for a feature film. I trust me, when I posted my Woman King review on TikTok, my comments were flooded with, go research the actual story. You won't like the movie as much. And I don't know. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but like, no.
Not going to do that.
Like,
Thank you, though.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it depends on the tone as well. Like if it's something like it's a serious true part of history, I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if there's things that are really historically inaccurate, it kind of annoys me sometimes. Like it happens in a lot of war films and stuff like that. But I think you can try and separate it and just understand that people are just trying to enjoy a film. It just depends on how you look at it.
A lot of people I know were pissed off with Elvis just recently for kind of, embellishing Elvis and making him this, I guess, great guy on screen and not really touching on the fact that, Priscilla was 13 when they met, or he was sleeping around, not touching on all of like the dark R-rated aspects of his life. So
that's all biopics, though. That's just how biopics.
Yeah,
that's a biopic.
I was gonna bring up Bohemian Rhapsody is like outrageously. I think it has a lot other problems, and maybe I only care because like I know a fair amount about Queen. I really like Queen. Like I don't really like Elvis all that much, so I didn't notice it. But like Bohemian Rhapsody is like absurdly off, and that kind of distracts me. But maybe if I don't know about it, it doesn't.
It depends how much you care on the subject, doesn't it? That's always going to be that way.
Maybe, I guess. Yeah. This was PG-13, right? Yeah. This is like how you do PG-13 action, I think too. It had like grit and some blood and stuff, but like you don't have to go. You don't have to go. So like you don't have to make an R-rated action movie just if you want blood and like sweat and nitty gritty like action movie, but you also don't have to go the Marvel route where every death is off screen. I'm gonna shoot you and you're not gonna bleed at all. Like I think this is like a perfect way to do
Middle
a
ground.
PG-13 action.
Yeah,
I think they really found what they wanted here.
I thought it was rated R, so yeah, if it's it was PG-13. So yeah, you're totally right. They nailed it. There's some brutal action sequences and there's some gory, some stuff that kind of makes you shield your eyes, like, oh, that's tough to watch. So doing that in a PG-13 movie, yeah, absolutely agree.
This
is how you do it.
For any UK listeners, I believe a PG-13 is a 12.
Oh,
and
sure.
Is it
R's 15. R's 15.
R 15. Yeah.
It's funny because we can roll our eyes and like laugh, but looking at our analytics, it's legitimately like 44% of our audience is UK. So
good job, Seth. Shout out.
No,
Seth.
I've got like a lot of my followers are American anyway, so I don't know if it's just me. I think this is the film community on TikTok is quite small anyway, so you tend to just go around.
It's also funny. I think R-rated is 17 here, if I'm not mistaken. So it's
is there no
18? Like it's a 2-year difference.
2 year difference. I was going to ask.
Yeah,
that.
It's a little odd. And then like PG-13, obviously 13 versus 12.
12.
You guys probably just mature more over there.
Well, we do. No,
I sure as hell haven't matured yet, so who knows? Yeah, and sorry. Last point doesn't not about the movie in any way. And this again is probably just my Marvel stand. I love the move where like a guy is running at someone and then they like wrap around him and like flip him over. It's something like they did a bunch in this, and like obviously like Black Widow does it. I love
that's
that.
a Marvel thing, you know.
It probably is. I love that move. It's my favorite. It's awesome every time.